Ever wonder how they calculate a credit score? And how do you improve yours? I'm going to show you right now. We're going to do this video all one cut. I'm not going to bounce around and fancy editing. I'm going to do this in a way that hopefully gets the point across. There are 5 main categories, sectors, sections, whatever you want to call it. 5 main things that I would say they, Equifax, TransUnion, Experian, all of those companies look for in your score, FICO score, all that stuff. It's all the same thing. They all have a slightly different way. Just dropped the cap to my marker. Slightly different way to calculate it. So we're going to go over the first. This is the biggest one. There's 2 super big ones. This is the biggest one, especially if you are younger. 30% of your, not 30%, it's 35%. Hold please. 35% of your score is payment history. Well, how do you improve your credit score, you might ask? You need to have history of making payments. You need to be able to show that you can make your payments on time. The easiest way to do this, and this is how I did it personally, get a credit card when you're younger, especially. Not advice, but this is what I did. I got a credit card when I was younger, and I was fortunate enough to have some people alongside me in my life that taught me about it and used it. I also learned in personal finance class in high school. Only use it for emergencies, maybe put a couple of charges on it when you get the bill, pay it off in full when you get the bill, or just by the due date so you don't get any interest. And that will show that by the due date, if you pay it off, that you are a trusted, creditor, lender, lendee, what's the word? Trusted lendee. If they lend you money, you are trusted to pay it back. That is the biggest portion of how they calculate your credit score. The second biggest portion, and it is not far off from 35%. 30% is going to be what you owe and how much credit you're using on like your credit cards and stuff. So if you have $1,000 limit on your credit card, utilization, I think I'm spelling that right. If you have $1,000 limit on your credit card, are you using that full 1,000? Is it maxed out? Are you making the minimum payment? Are you paying it off in full? They do look at that. Now, if you're making the minimum payment, that still helps you on payment history. But if you used all of the credit that is available to you, creditors are going to see that as a bad thing. You want to try to keep that credit utilization down. If you do those 2 things right, pay on time, and don't use all of your available credit, you are going to have a better than average score. But there's a couple other things we need to talk about. Number 3, length. So this is another thing that kind of goes with payment history. You can only really do this over time. Length of credit history. And this one's going to be, I didn't write it down, 15%. So 35%, if we were doing this out of 100, right? If we were doing this out of 100, 35%, 30%, that's 65. 15%. Is it 65? Yeah, 15%. What does that bring us to? 80? Yeah. So 80%. I'm off on the mental math here. 80 out of 100 is pretty good. If you do these 3 things, these 3 core things right, where, you really just got to live longer to have the length. But the other 2, like if you don't use a ton of credit and you pay on time, you are going to have a better than average credit score. It's really easy. 4 more things, or number 4, 5 total things. There's 2 more things that we need to go over. Credit mix, they do look at this. It's really not that important. This one's going to be 10%. Credit mix, what is your credit in? Is it a variety of accounts? Is it credit cards, mortgages, car loans? They look at that to just see how the majority of your credit is lined out, because you could have a mortgage, but if you don't have credit cards and other stuff, then they don't know how you can handle that type of money. If you have a credit card that you maxed out, well, that's pretty easy. But if you have a credit card that you do really, really well, then they may not know how you may treat a mortgage or another type of loan like a car loan. So the mix, not as important, but something that you would want to try to improve. 10%, another 10%, right? Because we're out of 100%. is going to be new credit and inquiries and things like that. So how many not new credits, just new credit in general. Wipe that off of there. So 10% is going to be new credit. I'm going to get this cap that I dropped here. So 10% new credit. This is not very important because even I have some inquiries on my credit that are still lingering around. They linger around for, was it 2 or 3 years? It's not that important. Now, if you're actively trying to buy a home and stuff like that, that can throw things ajar. You don't want to do it when you're actively trying to purchase a large asset like a home. You don't want to have any unnecessary pulls on your credit for that. But if you can pay on time, not use all of your available credit, have a lengthy credit history that says you can pay on time for a good amount of time, and then you have a good mix, and you don't always go out and get new credit, new accounts to try to pay off your old ones, you are going to be in a good spot improving your credit score. And that's it for the first video. This is my first long form video. I know I didn't jump around too much, hopefully, and I didn't cut the video. So maybe I'll start cutting the video to make it a little more watchable, but hopefully you got something out of it. 5 things to improve your credit score. And if you do that, you will certainly improve your credit score. I'll see you guys in the next video. And if you do see this video and you have an idea maybe of what you want to see on the long form, then let me know. On the short form, you might have seen this, $1 to $1 million. Every new follower or subscriber, in this case on YouTube, is going to help me get there. $1 for every new follower I get. You can see those on my TikTok and YouTube shorts. This is my first YouTube long form video, so I hope you like it, and I'll see you in the next video.